So let's take a little look at the planet we've spawned on here. Not a huge amount of water, but definitely a fair amount that will start to dictate the way the game goes.
Yeah, some water there, and plenty of good mechs rich areas.
Yeah,
fortunately, it's not like that moon in the finals of the last tournament where it was like, oh, where you spawn equals victory.
Yeah, pretty much spawn points determine the match. Here we go, players have spawned in. So, welcome if you've just joined us. This is the semi-final of Taxman's 2v2 tournament. We have current unbeaten challengers. In Team Purple we have RLM and Klops, spawning relatively close. And in Team Yellow we have Giggle and Pippy, who spawned together, which is an interesting turn of events. I'm not sure whether their spawns really weren't so good. We see Giggle saying, I worked on a special build just for you Klops. Perhaps they're thinking of working together and they're really rushing a T2, but definitely wouldn't give them an advantage.
It's called offered the Irishman a beer. So.
Those are good strategies.
Yes.
Well, his playstyle does decrease when he gets drunk.
That's the way it is for most people.
Let's look at yeah, but I guess he's Irish.
Oh.
Let's look at the starting positions. Air Factory going up for Giggle and Pippy. They've got some good mates just to the south of them, but as they spawn together, they've got much less distance between them, so you know they're really going to have to expand hard, get a lot of metal, and get a lot of map control. Team Purple, although they've spawned apart and can cover more ground, do have to walk a little bit to start expanding towards getting any mechs. So things are still looking pretty fair between the teams. I'm not going to call a rehost here. We wish the teams good luck, have fun. And once again, our luck for no rehosts is playing out very well in this tournament.
Yeah, and the purple team, RLM and Klops, have also got out an air as well, and they are now scouting. They've just been overflown by Giggle and Pippy.
Yeah, both of those bases have been scouted by Giggle and Pippy. And looking at Team Purple, but they're about to fly over them, and they have successfully flown over them. They've seen one commander, and they haven't seen any more, so they're probably going to assume there's only a single commander there, which is actually pretty good for Team Yellow, because it means they're going to be doing more scouting, trying to work out where they are, and not entirely knowing where they are in the game.
Yeah. And a couple fighters come out to take control of the skies there for Purple.
Do you see an air fabber coming out early? They could be going for an early T2. They could definitely be going to build the metal in the lake next to them as well. That's what they choose to do.
And some docks making their way over from the purple base towards the yellow base. They quickly discover the additional commander. Oh, they stopped. So I think what's happening is they're trying to lay some claim to this metal down here and say, yeah, we're going to be on the other side of this crack, taking over some control as well.
They are, however, moving in now, though. Probably going to run into this commander building T1 factories. Interesting choices going for the T1, though.
Yeah, they've got 5 of those queued up as well. So, commander, takes a moment from fabricating to shoot those guys down. Still pretty close on the economy, metal-wise. 1, now 2. Extractors up in favor of yellow, who spawned together, so not having hurt them so much.
Looking at Team Purple, though, that air fabber is going to build all those metal that are in the lake there, and we see a T1 bomber coming into the north side of Yellow's base, coming in against those engineers, but shot down by the air bots there. You can see how useful they are, particularly early on. You cannot afford to be losing those engineers, and they managed to defend nice and successfully there.
They may have kind of figured out that there's 2 commanders in this one spot now, just from the size of the base.
Yeah, I think you're right. Just from the size of the base, they've got to figure they're both here. They haven't found them anywhere else yet, and I think they're going to be able to focus all their forces. And at the moment, Yellow is pretty much trapped in a bubble, and then they're going to start falling behind if they can't really start getting some map control.
And 2 fabricators just moved out. They barely missed getting attacked by those docks from Purple. And they're coming down here to lay claim on this base. And sure enough, they start to put down a tower, and so does Purple, but it's 2 versus 1 fabrication, so unless something changes, it's not going to get done in time.
Well, Team Yellow are actually running at 40% efficiency.
So the Purple one's actually going up faster, so they may lose this race just from having tanked their economy. Very close, and another one going down on the other side, and bam.
And
they did not quite get it up enough to fire, and just zoom in and see the tip of it is still green, and now the whole of it is just a giant black smudge on the ground. So actually that's a pretty big win to claim that territory.
Yeah, it's pretty important to hold on to that, because that's a really critical area for Team Yellow to be taking, really. And Team Purple, as we approach minute 5 now, does not have any T2 yet, but Team Yellow has got a single engineer working on a T2 bot factory.
And there's not a lot of great spots to expand in the other direction, though the Yellow team has done so in a couple places, so maybe that'll work out there. They've got a tower and a couple extractors over there, though somewhere along the ways that whatever was building those did get killed. Towards the South Pole, again, another little base being set up to defend some metal points that they can then grab with those fabricators. So they are definitely making an attempt to make sure they gain enough map control, but I feel like the loss there to the southwest, or kind of the southwest of their Yellow's base, is pretty significant. Yeah, exactly where that ping was, in fact, that whole area.
Yeah, they've really got to take that area, but I think it's just very poor strategy here, investing in all of these T1 factories. And as we can see from Purple, they put up a lot of turrets, so all of those T1 units will be useless and will get destroyed very quickly. As we can see now, as these units move in towards that next point, they're just getting picked off and lost for 0 gain.
Yeah, pretty much an unnecessary... Docks are shooting down that wreckage, not actually getting destroyed there before
every single one of those units goes down.
Yep, that was foregone. In fact, I think it's kind of a waste for Purple to be building a second double-barreled laser turret. He could have gotten the same value, if not more, out of just building some walls around the first one.
Yeah, very true. However, T2 vehicle factory now going up for Team Purple on the right hand side of their base, and a T2 air factory going up on the other side. T2 vehicle factory almost finished as well for Team Purple, so they've started moving into the T2 a little bit later, but they put a decent amount of build power and beginning to catch up. Nice moves as well, with an air fabber destroying this laser turret that Yellow had expanded with.
South Pole still getting some expansion by Yellow.
Are they making progress there? Yeah, they're managing to get some metal up, which is very important for them at the moment. Falling behind 150 to 400, it's just didn't manage to expand, did they? And I think investing in all those T1 forces is just really poor strategy. All of that could have been invested in T2. They would have it up by now. They'd be sniping all those turrets, getting some map control, putting the fight back to Purple.
Yeah, Commander coming forward to fight this battle with try to take over the space, but I think with all those laser turrets, it's really going to take a lot of damage.
They really do beat the commander. He's starting to take damage now. We're going to see it piled off. 3 of them attacking him. He pulls back, and already he's lost nearly 20% of his life just from choosing to walk a little bit too far into the wrong territory. And really, without T2 units, they are going to fall.
Yeah. Well, I mean, really, the thing to do in this situation is realize that he's got a lot of tier 2 laser turrets and just put up some pelters. The artillery is the correct strategy, correct response. Artillery or air are the correct responses to those kind of static ground turrets, and they haven't really moved to that at all. And now they have half the economy of the.
Yeah, I think in their position, really, when you've got not much, you've got to be doing lots of proxy bases, lots of really rapid expansion, sending engineers out, sending air fabbers out to build land factories, like places like at the South Pole. Expanding into the water might have helped a little bit. but you've really got to do rapid expansion. It's got to be your #1 priority.
And that's exactly what Purple has done. If you look at their side of the map, there's, they've really completely covered that side of the world with expansion. And
they've really taken their half of the planet. And they've got turrets up everywhere as well, so they're really defending the outskirts of their base. T1 units die, doing very, very little damage at all.
So the bot factory for yellow, the tier 2, or the advanced bot factory, has been completed. Starting to pump out some fabricators here for some economy buildup. I think that will help a bit, but see, we got tier 2 fabricators popping out for Purple as well. He's got his 3 of them out there and his 4th on the way. Actually, no, he's switched to a Vanguard now. So he's got the fabricators he wanted to do, and he's already got a couple of tier 2 advanced metal extractors as well.
We do see a Vanguard drop coming in over the North Pole. 4 Vanguards there. However, they're not leading the way with the fighters, which is of course what you ought to be doing. You want to be shot down by fighters as you try to drop.
He pulled back and stopped that. Okay, here they're on the move again.
And you see they went around the mechs there. I think that was intentional. Trying to avoid being seen until the last moment. And flying straight over the middle. Little bit cocky, but it's okay. They managed to successfully drop and move back. And Vanguards are now in here, ready to cause some damage. And very little to stop them actually. Commander coming forwards. Not too much you can do against Vanguards. Splitting up all those Vanguards, which is good, makes them harder to target, means they can attack things all over the place. Couple of Scampers coming in to support as well.
Yeah, they've really wiped out a bunch of that economy. Even though Giggle and Pippy have only 278 metal, now their energy is wrecked because almost all of their energy was right in that spot. And they've really just wiped out so much there. Got some damage on the commander, but the commander has now taken out some of the... Yeah, there's the GG called by Giggle. See both. They have back self-destruct. He says their second spawn was terrible, which explains why they hit that one spot. But I feel like even so, they just needed the territory, even if the second spawn was not good on its own.